Hello and welcome back to Tech the Halls. It's day 22. We've got just 3 episodes left of this. With that being said, there's not a lot left to do. uh, I've been playing around with the bees, and basically what I've been doing is, I'm going to show you why I keep picking up these stupid flowers. There's a reason for it. As you can see, there's mycelium now. That is not my fault. Anyway, well, I mean, in a sense. So, as I was saying, I spent some time in a different location just farming for one type of bee. So we now have Boggy Queen, which is the end of her tier. She cannot do anything else except for produce peat and mossy combs, which mossy combs aren't really used for much of anything. But, I mean, still, the funny part about apparently the swamp versions of bees produce mycelium. They turn the ground into mycelium. So that's fantastic. That's empty. That's empty. Well, it's not empty. Don't ask me what I'm looking at. No, why'd you do this? Oh wait, never mind. Again, I'm going out of my mind. I threw some of the, I threw all of my monastic bees so I could try to get more. Over here, I've got the tropical bees doing their thing. And over here, they should still be going. Yeah, Modest Queen is in here. So I decided that despite the fact that the nether constantly crashes the game, I really want to get these nether bees produced. And so I would go in there, but I know the game would crash either on the way in or on the way back. So I don't want to go in there. But I do have some nether bees. I have maybe, well, I use them to, I don't know if they're still breeding in there. They should be. These guys are still producing stuff, and I don't want to get any closer because they'll kill me. Basically, what we need to do next, which I don't think I'll be able to finish today, is the apiarist suit, which is that one. Because there's not even like a 100% chance for these to produce silk, right? It's a 60% chance. Because then we need to make 9 of those into a woven silk, and we need like 1,000,000 woven silks to make the apiarist suit. I don't know what an alveary sieve does, but it's part of the alveary. There's also a swarmer. No clue what that does either. I've determined that these do not... Ah, yes, thank goodness. I was really hoping that she wouldn't turn back into a non-boggy. But that's nice. Okay, so she seems like she's going to stay as a boggy, which is beautiful. She also doesn't hurt me. That's nice too. As far as... God. Unfortunately, with that being said, this entire landscape is going to turn into mycelium. Which, I mean, I'm not opposed to that. Fix you guys up. I didn't actually want to be fixing things. As you can see, the world is turning into mycelium now. Which is going to be a problem with the other bees. The other bees obviously want flowers, not mycelium. So, with that being said, she'll just keep doing her thing and inevitably destroying the rest of our production. And it's raining, so there goes any production being done with the bees. Oh my god. They're flying. So yeah, like I said, there goes all of our production. As far as trees goes, I haven't been doing much with the trees lately because I've been really lazy. Been just spending all my time working on that one. Centrifuge. That next. We have 5 there, and we have another 2 in here. Throw those together. We do have 7 of these now, which means we can get 1 pulsating mesh. and that one pulsating mesh can then be used in conjunction with 4 other pulsating meshes to make us an ender pearl. That's not going to happen anytime soon. Well, I mean, it would happen if the ender bees over here would stop stinging me. Or, well, I guess, is it turning to nighttime? I wonder if I can sleep the weather away. I can. Yeah. If the ender bees would stop stinging me every time I try to, I cannot sleep. It ran away. Yes, I can. It went away. Um, yeah. If they would stop stinging me. Through quantum armor, let's not forget that part. Not only are they stinging me, they are stinging me through quantum armor. Look at that. Each time they hit you, it's 2 hearts of damage. The ender dragon didn't even do that much. I don't want to fall into these stupid holes. I mean, yes, I have infinite feather falling, but then I would have to get back out of the holes. So yeah, I set this up. Hi, chicken. Get in there. I don't know why I set it up. It's not like we're going to use any of these things from it. I mean, I will use it, but just it's not necessary, seeing as we're almost done, and really our only concern at this point is bees. So I should probably explain why this is working. How tropical bees. Ow! What hit me? What just hit me there? Is there a skeleton in the woods or something? No? Do these bees hurt you too? If they do, they're not hurting me. I like the ender bees anyway. Anyway, so tropical bees want warm but damp. So, ow. It is the bees, unless there's somebody underground here, underwater here. It's like sharks or piranhas in the water. So this guy should never. Oh wow, this thing is having a meltdown here because it can't do anything. But yeah, so warm and damp is actually really easy for us. But I needed to put 2 heaters because by putting the pump and pumping in water, it makes it, oh, destroyed my hemp bushes. You're not even producing bog or peat, whatever it is. Why won't you? You're the stupidest bees in the world. I'm picking up all the flowers now. If this guy is done yet, nope. I've put in some of our random queens that don't mean much to me, like as far as producing future stuff goes. I put them in there in order to, with the monastics, to try to get more monastic babies. This episode's not going to be too long because there's not really a lot to talk about. One thing that I'm going to do off camera is, since I can't get these stupid bees to turn into rurals, I'm going to go into the plains over here and set up a couple of the apiaries and try to get rural bees that way. Tree production, like I said, haven't done much with it, but every time I do check for the new trees, I don't get anything useful. I get the trees that we already have, so it's not helping our case. Like we're not ever gonna get the cocobolo tree. As sad as that makes me. You want blue? Whatever. As far as industrial craft goes, I wasn't really too worried about that playthrough, this season, whatever you want to call this thing that I'm doing. So yeah, I have just kind of been like, we made some of the stuff from Industrial Craft. Don't get me wrong. Like, I wouldn't have this armor on right now if it weren't for Industrial Craft. This one. But other than that, like, I mean, we could face a wither. Do I think we could beat a wither like this? With the sword, probably. The crossbow, fire stinger, not nearly as good as my crossbow in past. The old fire stinger was much more effective. I'll show you guys what we're doing in here, if it doesn't crash the game. If it crashes the game, then we're done. I'm not gonna keep recording this episode anymore. Are we gonna be fine? Come on. Alright, we're down to... Oh. It's loading everything. I'm just watching the frame rate. It goes from 1 to 30 and then drops back down and just keeps doing that over and over and over again. And eventually it'll go and be perfectly fine. But I don't expect much from it. So what I've done over here is, since I don't like coming in here all the time, I made a world anchor and I threw in some ender pearls and they worked for 12 hours. We did it! We got fiendish as well. So now she combines with the fiendish baby here and should produce demonic at a pretty high rate, if I remember. Right? 25% chance of her mixing with the fiendish drone here and becoming a demonic queen. Which is pretty... Ow! Okay, they also deal a significant amount of damage too. What about you? Alright, you can go back in with the sinister. Ow. Ow. Very vicious bees. We really need one of those apiarist suits. Don't ask me why I didn't just dig around the inside. Because that would have made too much sense, you know. Alright, you make no sense. I have put this guy. I put in a common princess and I put in a modest princess and a cultivated drone, which is supposed to produce sinister, right? But somehow it produced the sinisters and then produced a cultivated queen. It didn't even make sense. And then it gets upset when I try to put it back in there and it's like, no, this isn't the right biome for me. And I'm like, stupid bee, shut up. So anyway, fiendish, we can combine with our modists and try to get frugal. And then frugal becomes austere. And that's it. Just frugal and demonic. So we'll go back into the overworld. If the game doesn't crash, if the game does crash, I'll see you next episode. That pigman wanted me. The game is most likely going to crash at this point.